Hello Snack Pack. I'm going to be going on a trip soon, so it's trip planning mode. Field trip is coming very soon. I've received a lot of comments over the years asking, how do you know where you're going to go? How do you figure out what's next on your agenda or your journey? And I have a few tools down my sleeve, up my sleeve, that I like to use whenever I'm considering a new adventure. Sometimes it's a bigger picture. Like sometimes I'll be like, you know what, for the next few months, I'm going to be doing all of the West Coast or East Coast or Southern states or mountain states or whatever. But this time I'm just going to be dipping my toe back into the van waters and just getting out and doing a trip. I'm ready to just get out and do something new. Also, on a quick side note, I am redecorating and renovating my van, but I just kind of got tired of waiting on this to get done before I do any more trips. So it's kind of in like a remodel construction phase. So just bear with me on this. So the first thing that I do is I think, okay, where's somewhere I've never been? Usually that's enough for me. I don't need anything elaborate. And then what I do from there is say, okay, I've never been there, so let's explore what's in that area. So here's a few tools and resources that I use that really helps to decide kind of where I'm going. So I don't just drive aimlessly and just get there and be like, okay, now what? I'm going to be planning a trip to Oklahoma because I don't know if I've ever been there. That might seem weird to you to say, like, I don't know if I've been there, but when you travel for many years and you're driving a lot and going through different places, I honestly forget where I've been. So I'm like, have I gone there before? I might have. I don't remember. But in my mind, I don't recall being in Oklahoma. So currently I'm in the Dallas, Texas area, and that's not really that far away. So I was like, let's figure out some things in Oklahoma City. So the first thing that I do is I go on Google Maps. That's my absolute starting point for figuring out where I want to go. So if I didn't already know that I wanted to go to Oklahoma, I would look at where I'm at and I would say, okay, how far away am I from wherever I think I might want to go? I decide in my head, okay, I really don't want to drive that far, or I want to drive in a new direction, whatever. But this time I knew I wanted to go not too far, maybe like 3, 4, 5 hours away. I don't know exactly what's in Oklahoma that I want to see. So the next thing I do is type into Google top things to do in Oklahoma. It usually spits out a bunch of blogs, and there's usually many people writing about pretty much the same things. And I start to look at these blogs and I start to pick out the things that I like, and then I start going down the list going, okay, I've seen that on another blog, I've seen that on another blog. And there's usually a handful of things that start to come together, like these are the top things. And so I start thinking, okay, do I want to do that? No. Do I want to do this? No. Yes. No. Yes. And the way I decide is usually by how much it's going to cost, how many people are going to be there, and can I park my van there? Because some places are just too cramped, like cities. I usually don't even try to go into bigger cities where the parking's limited unless there's something I just really want to see. So I type that in and then I make a little list of the things that I might want to do. Then I go to a tool called, hey. You watching? Pause for just give me like 5 seconds. We are so close to hitting 100,000 subscribers, snack packers, and I'm so ready to put up my 100K travel snacks plaque up here on the wall, and you can be a big part of it. So if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you have friends that like travel and food, tell them to subscribe, be part of the snack pack, and be part of helping us hit this goal. And keep watching to the end. There's a lot more resources to come. Then I go to a tool called Trello, and I've been using Trello for many years. It's free to use up to like 5 boards, I think. There's a paid version. I have never really had the paid version because it really suits my needs for the free plan, but I'm sure they have a lot of other things that are great. I've created a Trello board for my van life journeys, and what I've done is I have a main list and then I have a tab for each state. So what I do is I figure out, okay, like here's one thing that I want to do, and what city is that in? Usually you'll see things come together in like pockets, like certain areas of that state will have a handful of things. So I go to Trello and I've made a city template. So what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll say, okay, I want to go to this particular city and I'm going to make a new card for it. And within that card, there is attractions, food, and places to stay. And so I just start going down and looking in that area for other things to do. Like if I'm already going to go there, then I might as well find out what things there are to eat. Where can I stay? What am I going to be doing? Just different hole in the wall things. I usually do a little bit of a deep dive on Google just for like things that locals like to do, because I don't like all the touristy things all the time. I do like little hidden gems. I'm a curious person, so I like to try new things. So I started a new city card for all the cities that I think I want to go to. And then I start filling it in. On Google Maps, there is a section where you can trip plan. And I've used it before and I like it, but I'm so kind of ingrained with Trello that I tend to keep going back to Trello. But I have started a few little mapped out things on Google Maps as well, which is another whole resource that you could look into. But again, I think Trello is also a great resource. And the next place I go to is Atlas Obscura, because it has a lot of weird, quirky things that you might not normally know about. And so I type in that city name and it'll tell me around that area. And so I just go down the list and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I open a new tab for each one that I'm interested in. And then I read about it. And then I write in my Trello card, okay, I want to probably go to this place. The next tool I use is called Roadside America, and it's kind of similar, but these are more like roadside attractions. And a lot of times they will be the same things, but you might find a few extra things on Roadside America. And then the last thing I do is I look up foods I need to try in this area. And usually I'll make that pretty broad. So it'll be like foods I need to try in Oklahoma. And it'll usually give you like the common thing that people eat in that area. And then I'll just go down the list and see if those things are in the pockets, the cities that I've already chosen, so that I can try some of these delicacies or different things in these regions, because I love food, hence travel snacks. And in terms of places to sleep, usually I'll use the app iOverlander, or I'll just drive around the area and find a residential neighborhood or a hotel parking lot to park in, or a hospital parking lot if it's last resort. Along the way, I'm just filling out these cards. Once all the cards are filled out to the places I think I want to go, and then I go back to Google Maps and I map it out to see how far these things are from each other. This is where a lot of editing gets done, because I'm like, am I really going to go to 50 places? No. And then when I narrow it down, then that's how I decide where I'm going first. And then once I'm in that location, I drive around. I just look around and I might see some things just driving around that I've never seen on any of these websites before. And then if I go to, say, a restaurant, like a little diner or whatever, I'll usually ask the waitress, oh, what are some cool things to do around here? And the other final thing that I like to do is go to the visitor center of wherever you're going. They have a wealth of knowledge. They usually know all the hidden gems, and they usually have pamphlets and guidebooks, and they can hook you up with tours if you want to do day trips or whatever. You can get a well-rounded trip just by those few resources, and those are the things that I use to plan my trips. Now, I know that there are so many resources out there that I don't even know about, so if there are tools that I haven't mentioned that you like, drop it in the comments for the snack pack to read about. And until next time, bye for now. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum. Bum. Hello, Snack Pack, and I've thinking about going. Can we start over? Hello, Snack Pack. No. Yes, it's gonna be field trip time. There's usually a not pattern. And what are you trying to say? And I'm ready to put up my and I'm ready to put. What is happening here? Oh, it's my knife. That's not great. There are so many more things, so many more. Snack time.